Carl in Fort Lauderdale. Carl, I'm glad you held on. Welcome to the program, sir.
Rush, it's sensational to be on the phone with you. Thank you.
You bet, sir.
That lady that called before and you were trying to help her out when her Democratic friends keep beating her up, and you were explaining the lack of power having only the House. But I remember so clearly, and I'm so mad, and I'm still mad, right after the 2010 midterms, there was one of these requests from Obama for $2.4 trillion in expanded debt. Well, the House and Boehner and those guys put together their own package, and just as soon as it was done, and maybe before, Reid says, well, I'm not going to vote on that. And Obama says, well, if they do and they pass it, I'm going to veto it. And instantaneously, immediately, they hustled back into the hole, and they came out with a bill exactly as Obama wanted it. Now, I'm in District 22 here in Florida, where Alan West, I thought he was going to be a strong man, but he laid down like the rest of them. And I think that's where a lot of disappointment comes into America from conservatives. They just laid down.
What do you mean Alan West laid down?
He backed Boehner. By the way, can I say hello to my buddy?
Yeah, go ahead while I figure out what I'm going to say to you.
Hey, Wayne, I'm on the phone with Rush.
Big day. Been a big day.
It is.
I don't remember specifically the spending argument that you described. I'm not denying it. I do know there were a bunch of battles over raising the debt limit. And it was always made to look like the Republicans caved. And I will admit to you, I thought that in each one of those fights, the Republicans held the cards and could have dictated to Obama. I thought the same thing that you do. I thought that it was Obama that he's the one that wanted to spend. He's the one that needed to spend. We could have. What is a debt limit for? What's the word limit mean? What good is it if it doesn't exist? You just keep expanding it. Why even have a debt limit?
After they passed it, you called it his new slush fund.
Well, it was. Everything is a slush fund.
Well,
now, Alan West, see, as a powerful, influential member of the media, I know things that I can't tell because of confidences. But I'll just tell you, I was with Alan West. When was this? It was around one of these instances. And he was just depressed as he could be over things he was hearing that leadership say to freshmen and so forth. And basically what it was, I mean, it's Democrats do it, Republicans do it. They say the incoming freshmen, and remember now, we've talked about this, the House leadership was not crazy about these new Tea Party freshmen. They thought they were nuts. They thought they were kooks. And they bring them in and they say, look, if you want to have any future here, if you want us to help you with your reelection, you're going to have to vote with the leadership. And immediately they face choice. And that's why the numbers of freshmen stand out. You've got the guy in Illinois, I forget his name. I wish I wasn't forgetting it, but he stands up and he's independent and he refuses, and the Tea Party people love him. But most of them end up in one instance or another going along with the leadership. They're under a lot of pressure to do this. And I remember Alan West, he did the best he could. He told me that he and his fellow freshmen did as much as was humanly possible given what they were up against, that they didn't have within the Republican caucus. There weren't enough of these guys to stop the rest of the Republicans in the House. And then, of course, when you're talking about raising a debt limit, you've got all the pressure that's being brought to bear, all the news about what's going to happen to our credit rating, all the news what's going to happen to financial markets. And as is the usual case, Carl, everybody's predicting the apocalypse. The debt ceiling isn't raised, well, there goes our credit rating. If the debt ceiling isn't raised, why, Social Security checks may not go in. And guess who's going to get blamed? The Republicans. The media's blaming them. Other Republicans are blaming them. And their hopes of being reelected are doused in their first terms if that happens. That's why I keep saying that it's going to require a whole lot of elections and a whole lot of conservatives winning them to begin turning back the tide here. But whether these concerns were real or not doesn't matter. If the financial markets would not have reacted negatively had there not been that specific an increase in the debt limit, it still is being reported. The people are hearing it, and so it's a vicious cycle and battle that takes place. But I don't believe that General Principals Allen West has shrunken from duty, responsibility laid down, as you say. But I appreciate the call, Carl.